He was once one of the gods of cycling, an athlete strong enough to overcome cancer, win 7 consecutive Tour de France championships, and establish a monster charity effort in the process. But it all evaporated when Lance Armstrong admitted to using performance-enhancing drugs earlier this year. That story is told in the new documentary, The Armstrong Lie, opening in theaters Friday. WGBH arts editor Jared Bowen has this preview.
What was intended to be a tale of triumph, a film documenting cyclist Lance Armstrong's 2009 comeback at the Tour de France, became the drama of a doping downfall.
The guy was a liar and a cheat. Not only did he dope, but he doped with the best expertise available.
In The Armstrong Lie, Oscar-winning filmmaker Alex Gibney cycles through Armstrong's rise and fall, the agony and the ego that reared up when Armstrong finally admitted to using performance-enhancing drugs throughout his career. The cyclist speaks extensively about his admission.
I had won 7 tours in a row. I was engaged to a beautiful rock star. But that all just felt normal to me. I certainly was very confident that I would never be caught.
As much as being the story of one of the biggest scandals and cover-ups ever to hit sport, Lie is a character study, an intimate glimpse of a master manipulator.
The only person that can actually start to let people understand what the true narrative is me.
And for the disgraced athlete, now stripped of all his tour titles and banned from all sport for life, that narrative arrives loud and clear.
Jared Bowen joins me. Well, does he offer a satisfactory explanation as to why he did this?
The sense that you get is that this is the landscape of cycling. This is what is done, and this is why he participated in it, because he had no other choice. If he was going to compete, he had to compete by doing the doping, and he's described by teammates as aggressive as he was in training and marketing himself and everything else. He was that aggressive in cheating. It all came in the same package.
Is he humbled? Is he embarrassed? Is he remorseful?
This is what is so interesting about the fact that this was 2 films in the making, because you get this very intimate glimpse of Lance Armstrong before he makes the admission. So you see the ease with which he lies. I mean, there's nothing that crosses his face to make you think that he has any guilt or remorse about the fact that he is telling bald-faced lies and running people into the ground for challenging him.
All right, well, Lance Armstrong, as we know, is the most notorious doper in cycling, but my next guest says he was far from alone. Justin Spinelli is a former competitive cyclist who raced with Armstrong from 2000 to 2007 and admits using performance-enhancing drugs. So, Justin, what you're telling us is basically everybody did it.
Yeah, it was it was part of the job for everyone.
Did it help you that much? If everybody was using it, doesn't that still make Lance Armstrong the best cyclist?
Well, yes and no. I mean, there's a general misconception about performance-enhancing drugs, and it doesn't take a donkey and make them a racehorse. We're all top athletes. It aids in recovery from day to day, basically, is what it does. It doesn't make you a superhuman, like some people may think.
Did everybody do the same kind of doping, this blood, the oxygen infusion? Was that pretty much the rigor of the day?
Yeah, red blood cells are what counts the most. So, you know, when Lance Armstrong would say that he wasn't cheating, I think he believed that. And I think when other cyclists would say that they weren't cheating, I think they honestly believe that because everyone did it.
There are suggestions in the film about how complicit administrators were, all the way up to the president of the Tour de France, as we've seen from news reports just in the last week. So there are intimations of the culpability that other people had to keep this going, because you had so much intertwined. You had, of course, his own career and his character, which, of course, elevated the sport in ways that nobody had seen in decades and decades and decades. And then you had Livestrong on top of it. So you had an entire charity built around the identity of one person, and you get these suggestions, because this filmmaker had such intimate access for a year, that they were not about to let Lance Armstrong fail.
When teammates started coming forward, Lance Armstrong teammates, several years ago, and started saying, I know he doped, I saw him dope, I was there, did you think it would unravel? Because it took a while.
Well, the teammates came forward basically when Lance came out of retirement. I mean, Lance should never have come out of retirement. That was a huge mistake. And, of course, he's an egomaniac. So he went a year or two without being in competition, and he needed the spotlight on him.
That was in 2009. Yeah.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. But when you started hearing those reports, did you think, oh, boy, this is it?
I didn't know what to make of it, and to be honest with you, it's not good for the sport that Lance got busted. It's bad for business, really. So when people were, you know, all happy, a lot of people were happy in the bike industry that he was getting busted or taken down. I didn't see it that way. I saw it as a very bad thing for the bike industry as a whole. I think they were wrong to be happy about that. I'm glad that he's being brought to justice. He deserves it, but it's not good for the sport itself.
Is this something that should be legalized? If you're basically infusing your own red blood cell, I mean, it's not like a steroid. Is this something? If it's that helpful and everybody does it, should it be legal?
No, it's wrong. It's cheating. It shouldn't be legal. Cheating is wrong. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with his lies. But it's very complicated. The sport of cycling, it's not very well understood by the American public. The general public here, it's not. People don't understand it. It's a European sport. I competed in Europe predominantly.
How well did you know Lance yourself?
Not very well at all. You know, we'd bump handlebars in races when I was, you know, up at the front. He seemed nice enough to me. You know, everyone's heard stories about his personality, and of course a lot of people don't like him, but he made a lot of people a lot of money, so everybody liked Lance.
You know, it's interesting. He does have this myth about him. Coincidentally, when I was on vacation in Colorado at one point this summer, sitting next to me in this restaurant was Lance Armstrong.
Really?
And he's just, first of all, he's incredible to look at because he's such an athlete, but he does have this aura because this myth has been built around him. And one of the really personal aspects of the film that I couldn't get over is the degree to which he ruined his teammates' lives and ruined the lives of people in the sport because he sued them into the ground. This is a man who made about $125 million from racing, and teammates who didn't make that kind of money, who wanted to talk about what they had observed in terms of his doping, couldn't defend them. They couldn't afford the legal fees to defend themselves against him, and found their lives, their careers destroyed.
It's really an incredible story and an incredible downfall. Is the film going to make it? Is it going to be a hit?
It should be, because, like I said, it is an amazing character study, and it comes from a very, very good filmmaker anyway, who's told some of these great stories, and this is another one.
Good. All right. Justin Spinelli, thanks so much for coming.
You're welcome.
Jared, thanks.